Stellar Communities projects continue in Huntingburg. We'll have another update. Plus, efforts to pass federal disease treatment legislation took on a local flavor yesterday. And Dodie Ewell joins Bill Potter tonight for Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin with a Jasper man's arrest after police say he solicited sexual favors from a 14-year-old girl. Jasper police arrested 30-year-old Anthony Temple just before 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon after a lengthy investigation. Temple is facing a level 5 felony count for solicitation after police say he talked with the young girl about performing or engaging in different sex acts with him. Police say Temple first contacted the girl online, then solicited her through text messaging, chat room dialogue, and telephone conversations. Jasper police were assisted by DuBois County Sheriff's deputies and the DuBois County Prosecutor's Office. JPD says more charges are expected to be filed as this investigation wraps up. It's business as usual for Huntingburg as Stellar Communities projects just keep on rolling. Last night, Mayor Denny Spenner told the Huntingburg City Council that 2 projects are making significant headway. The most important of these is the St. Joseph's Hospital renovation that's been underway for a couple of months now. The new lofts at St. Joseph's project is currently on schedule and is expected to be completed by the spring of 2016. Spenner says a lot has happened in a short amount of time at the St. Joseph's property.
The complete demolition of the existing structure has taken place, and reconstruction in that area has begun, and the foundations are being set for the new addition on the north end of the property. According to the Miller-Ballantine report, we should see that project completed as planned for occupancy to happen in the spring of next year. So that's a very good news to see that project moving forward as planned.
The lofts will turn 30,000 square feet of the former hospital building into living units for seniors age 55 and older. 45 units in all will be created from the hospital building and a new building that will be built adjacent to the hospital. The project is expected to generate nearly $4 million for the local economy. On a related note, Spenner told the council that the 9th Street extension work is now running a bit behind schedule. Spenner blamed the recent rainy weather pattern for delays in the work, and he says work will pick back up once the rainy weather subsides. Interim study committees for the Indiana House of Representatives have been assigned. Locally, District 74 Representative Lloyd Arnold has been chosen to serve on the Interim Study Committee for Public Safety and Military Affairs. He joins District 47 Senator Aaron Houchin as part of that committee. Meanwhile, District 63 Representative Mike Braun was not chosen for any interim study committees. However, he was chosen to serve on the Military Base Planning Council, which is an external committee with legislative appointments. District 48 Senator Mark Messmer was chosen to serve on the Interim Study Committee for Public Policy. Messmer will also serve on the Advisory Commission on Intergovernmental Relations. Of course, lawmakers are assigned to the interim committees for the summer and fall months. There are 20 such committees this summer focused on issues ranging from agriculture and natural resources to education to elections to roads and education. The topics for summer study are assigned by the Bipartisan Legislative Council, which is made up of 16 voting members, 8 state representatives, and 8 senators. To see interim committee agendas and to stream the hearings online, you can go to in.gov/IGA. The DuBois County Health Department wants your help to continue improving health services across the county. The Health Department is partnering with the Indiana University School of Public Health and the IU Center for Survey Research to conduct a community health assessment. DuBois County is one of 6 county health departments collaborating on this survey, with Jackson, Madison, Monroe, and Ripley counties being among the others. Now, 2,000 of the surveys are being sent out to DuBois County residents by mail and by email. Recipients are being carefully chosen to ensure that there is a truly representative sample. Each survey takes about 15 minutes to complete, and answers are kept confidential. Of course, the data collected from the surveys will be used to help improve all health-related services provided by DuBois County organizations. In a news release, DuBois County Health Department Executive Director Donna Oding says public input on health and health resources in the county is very important. She says those who get the surveys need to fill them out in order for the county to know what services need to be provided. This survey also fulfills part of a requirement for the health department to get public health accreditation. Well, by now you've heard all about what's happened with Old School Cafe's closing. The news has finally gotten better for the Huntingburg mainstay. The restaurant announced on its Facebook page earlier today that it will be reopening on Sunday for brunch. Old School Cafe closed its doors in late June after ongoing issues with the state over payment of sales taxes. Restaurant owner Bob Allmeyer says the issues were overblown. Several competing Huntingburg restaurants, including Spuds and Stuff, hosted fundraising efforts to help Old School Cafe reopen its doors. No word on if that funding made the difference in the reopening decision. And finally tonight, new federal legislation aimed at funding research and treatment for life-threatening diseases took on a local flavor yesterday with the story of a mayor and his family. During a short speech on the 21st Century Cures Act yesterday afternoon, 8th District Congressman Larry Bucshon told the story of Ann Seitz to illustrate the importance of this bill. Seitz, who was Jasper Mayor Terry Seitz's first wife, passed away on Thanksgiving Day in 2010 after battling ALS, more commonly known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Bucshon told the House of Representatives that 21st Century Cures would represent a big step forward for those battling life-threatening diseases and their families if it were to pass.
As Mayor Seitz put it, 21st Century Cures gives patients and their families the opportunity for hope and the ability to cope. These two things mean the world to those fighting a rare disease who face so much uncertainty about the future and what it may hold. 21st Century Cures turns hopelessness into hope. Mr. Speaker, we have a real opportunity today to improve the lives of these patients across the country, and we need to seize it.
Now, Seitz says Bucshon's office called yesterday for permission to use Ann's story. He says it was an honor to have her story told on a national stage.
To get this call as he was preparing to have a message and remarks as part of the committee that's looking at this, the act of the 21st Century Cures, I was actually just more than pleasantly surprised.
The 21st Century Cures Act was introduced earlier this year. The act aims to move more funding into research for diseases like ALS and cancer that don't have known cures. If passed, the act would create new funding streams for both the Food and Drug Administration and the National Institutes of Health for research and development in treatment options. $8.75 billion would go to the NIH, while the FDA would see $550 million. Now, there are 10,000 diseases that have been identified by medical experts, and only 500 of those have been researched. In his view, Seitz says the bill and the research efforts that may come out of it would help ease the emotional pain for many families.
There may be 10 people in the United States with something, and there is really so little hope at that point because you're the odd person. You have something that Mayo and other hospitals, let alone our wonderful hospital Memorial, has never dealt with before. And it would be nice to know that somebody might give you some hope of what you can do. And that's what fascinates me about this bill and about moving things forward even on an experimental nature to allow people to, again, have some ability to cope.
The act passed out of House committee by a unanimous 51-0 vote. As of news time, the bill was being voted on by the full House. All right, coming up after the break, your forecast for the weekend and Inform with Dodie Ewell. We're back after this.